Good morning. This is Amma Thanasanti, and I'm speaking from my Forestville, lovely sunny room in the treetops. And I wanted to talk this morning about the difference between inquiry and debate. When I was in high school, I was on the debate team, and I loved it. It was really fun. I had a debate partner, and together we would go on tournaments to different university campuses with other high school debate teams, and we would argue on a topic. And what was exciting was we didn't know until just a few minutes before the debate tournament began whether we were arguing for or against a particular topic. And so rather than become entrenched in a view and try and convince people of our particular view, we had to be flexible and versatile to be able to think on both sides of the argument at a moment's notice and be compelling and convincing and have clear reasons. So it was fun and I enjoyed it. But over these years of meditation, I have come to appreciate another way of being with processes and discussing topics that allows a completely different result. And so rather than sharpen our intellectual acumen and develop our capacity for reason, it magnifies our ability to be present with what's going on, supports us to allow insight to emerge in what is happening inside of ourselves, and creates a community context that is loving and trusting and supportive of each other in our unfolding journey. And so this is the journey of inquiry. This is the journey of using meditation as a basis for seeing and discussing and sharing things with each other. And so our Sunday interactive inquiry calls, online Dharma calls, is based on inquiry. So we start with a short guided meditation. The facilitator brings forward a topic. The topic is not meant to be convincing you of pieces of information, but a topic that allows reflection so that you can come into right relationship with that understanding yourself. And then it's followed with an online interactive discussion where everyone who's on the call is welcome to share your comments, your questions, the way you work with this in your practice, and the way this is impacting you. And so these guidelines for inquiry are part of what we have been using in our online Dharma calls, interactive Dharma calls. And it starts with respect. We need to start with respect for ourselves, respect for the depth of our own understanding, and respect for each other. So this is not about trying to convince somebody of what's right or what's wrong, or to prevail against one's own view and promote that at the expense of others. But it's really a question of listening deeply, listening to what is true and right in oneself, and listening for the ways that shows up in others and the differences that others express. Generosity. Generosity shows up in the way that we are present, that we pause, that we are attentive. It shows up in the way that we bring the fullness of our experience to bear. It shows up in the way that we support the community, that we support the teachings, that we support the teachers. Generosity has many different attributes, and it can be the simple way that we give our full attention to what's going on in the present moment. And integrity. Integrity fundamentally is the willingness to create an environment where there is a sense of safety, where people are feeling comfortable enough in order to speak their truth, where people are not criticized or judged, where there's no sense of shame for your own experience, and there's a sense of welcome and inclusivity. Everyone is welcome to participate. There isn't a select few for whom this applies and no one else is allowed to join in. It's the opposite. It's an open-hearted and loving community where anyone who shows up is welcome, and welcome to speak your experience. The facilitator's job is to keep things within the guidelines, and so their job is to pause people when somehow what they are saying is outside of the guidelines and reset the context so that the guidelines are present. Now, one of the teachings, the system of teachings that supports us in inquiry are the insight dialogue guidelines that have been established. Pause, relax, open, listen deeply, speak the truth, and trust emergence. So pause is our ability to just stop and notice what's going on. It's to refocus our attention into our body and to listen to our body as a way of having a mirror for what's going on in our mind. Pause is the way of stopping our normal conventions around everything that we think we're supposed to be or do, and just be with what is. Relax is to relax our body, to relax the muscles in our body, to relax the ideas that we have about what we are supposed to accomplish, and to just be and turn towards what's going on in the present moment. Relax is then supported or supports opening awareness inwardly and opening awareness externally, to tuning in and feeling, sensing what's going on in the community, in the person who's speaking. Trust emergence is to let go of our preconceived ideas of how we think it should be and allow things to emerge. Listen deeply is to listen with our own body, heart, and mind inwardly to what's going on in ourself, and listen with our body, heart, and mind to what we hear others share. And speak the truth, rather than come up with good ideas, to be willing to let go of those good ideas and to discern what are the truths underneath that we can share. And so in this way, when we have inquiry, it's a very different experience than debate, because it's meditative, it's contemplative, and the exciting part of inquiry is that it is supportive of insight, of having much more understanding of what's going on, of how to stay with our experience, of how to be present with each other, to allow timeless truths to reveal themselves, to give us more confidence on how to be with things in this world and with each other, so that we have more joy and more peace, so that our community grows more cohesive, so that we feel more sense of support. And this is a completely different objective from debate. That was not the objectives of debate. So there's no need to put debate down. It has its point, it has its purpose, it's fun. It sharpens the intellect. You have all kinds of good ideas that you can banter back and forth. But that's not what the group is for. The interactive online Dharma calls is for inquiry. And the interactive Dharma call discussion group is for inquiry. So I encourage us all to move in that direction and see how that shapes our lives and informs us. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.